Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another Hero House Reviews. Today we're looking at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Goldar. And he's an exclusive. I think I've mentioned him coming into several reviews about the fact that, him being an exclusive is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, every Power Rangers fan knows Goldar, and I think to some degree loves Goldar. I mean, for the entire first generation of fans, he is the OG Lieutenant, the OG badass villain. I mean, yes, that status kind of got ruined going down the line as they changed his character. He got nerfed. It was a bit of a ridiculous situation because he did start out as such a badass. If you remember him as the guy who, would just show up and wreck the Rangers. He's the first monster to grow giant, the first one to fight the Megazord. Like, there's a lot of history behind this dude. So the fact that they made him an exclusive that is difficult to get outside the United States, that kind of sucks for Rangers fans across the globe, and there are many of them. Now, just with that bit of history and ranting out of the way, let's get on to the figure itself, which is, frankly, quite, amazing. It's got the same level of articulation as the rest of the line, which is astounding when you consider Goldar's actual design. I mean, look at those double-jointed elbows, and again, his shoulder pads, much like Magna Defender, are made, they're not on, their own joints, but they're made of a softer plastic. So they don't hinder his articulation in any degree. He's got great wrist articulation. His head is slightly hampered because, again, he's got the dreadlocks sculpted on. He's got the big head crest. And he's got a ponytail. They even bothered including his little ponytail thing, which catches between the wings, which, I might add, are articulated themselves. So you can flare them, or you can position them going behind his back. That's not the best. There you go. So you can have your flying Goldar. Ironically, Goldar was at his worst once he got the wings back. In the original series, his wings were clipped. They had Lord Zed give him back his wings, and it was around that time everything went to shit for Goldar in terms of being a character. But again, I'm going off track. He's got double-jointed knees. So that's great. They've cut the thigh swivel beneath his little skirt. So again, very clever design to maintain articulation. He's got good, if not amazing, ankle swivel. Oh, it's pretty good considering his design. And what a good design it is. Looking at it now in like a handholdable scale, he's just such an interestingly designed character. No wonder he sort of stayed in the public conscience. I mean, let's get in there on that face sculpt. They've really nailed the character. That is magnificent. And it's leaning towards his OG appearance, which is much more intimidating. The old costume got damaged at one stage, so they had to remake a Goldar, and the Goldar that they remade had a shorter snout that looked more sort of simian, and, is the look that's more associated with the character decay he suffered. The only place where I think this figure really falls down is the paint, because Goldar is not gold in terms of how they've painted him. He has gold sections, but he's primarily yellow, and he should be gold. His name is Goldar. So, kind of an obvious point to make, but it's strange that the paint is where this line is falling down, because I showed you the Pink Ranger quite recently, and she had uneven paint apps. Now, considering so much effort is going into this line in every other regard, accessories and articulation, and even the characters they're releasing, like Sculpt, I mean, look at Goldar's design. When are they gonna reuse this? How many characters look like that? But, they really need to work on the paint, because they're going to get to a stage where it's like a line that's known for being great apart from paint, because even the gold, I believe, on the Power Ranger Zeo Gold Ranger, sorry for the memory lapse there, wasn't that striking. And it certainly wasn't that striking on the Dragon Shield for the Red Ranger. The paint is starting to get a little sloppy in areas, which is surprising because they can nail it in others. I mean, like, Shadow Ranger and Magna Defender look fantastic. So maybe it's just the gold, and maybe it's just pink that are going to cause them issues. But who knows? Point is, they need to step up their game in that respect, because it is a bit of a lax in the line, and it's just disappointing, because look at the chest sculpt there. He's got the gems in. The sword, I believe his sword was gold as well in the show, not silver. I might be wrong, someone correct me if I'm wrong. But it too should be gold. He's just so well sculpted. Everything about him is absolutely fantastic. It just makes that, like, paintwork sloppiness so jarring and surprising. I mean, they've given him waist articulation. A dude this heavy set. No, look at that. That's incredible movement considering how much has gone into him. So, yeah. That's all I have to say. He's definitely veering on being a 5 out of 5. If they just nailed that gold, he would have definitely been that. I still kind of want to give it to him because his sculpt is so amazing and his articulation is so amazing relative to the sculpt. And he's quite good in terms of accessories. So, you know, 4.5 out of 5. They just need to refine their paintwork, particularly when it comes to golden characters. Now, anyway, let's dive into some pictures and wrap this bad boy up. 1 second. Okay, so as you can see, he is magnificent and he scales well with the rest of the line. He's taller than all of the Mighty Morphin Rangers. I think he might be edged out by Shadow Ranger, who was, you know, about 7 feet tall, so that's acceptable. Zed takes him slightly in terms of height. Now, Zed was never particularly tall when he appeared on screen, but in terms of the actual characters themselves, I approve of Zed, you know, having the edge on Goldar. Zed should have been, you know, towering over everyone else, and Goldar, when he was in the original footage, towered the Rangers, so the scale is good. They look magnificent together. We have got a great start to the villains. I want to see what they can do with a Rita Repulsa figure. How will they articulate her? Because they've shown that, you know, an intricate sculpt that would prevent articulation in most lines doesn't even phase them. They will just find a way around it. So I will love to see this fully articulated Rita that we get. I'd just love to see that staff of hers sculpted with as much detail and attention and care as they put into Goldar's armor. So, again, this is a line that excites me, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes in the future. Just because we're getting figures that we've never gotten to such a well-executed degree before. And there's so many designs in Power Rangers. So many amazing, intricate costumes that it's an inexhaustible supply of great figurines and sculpting and innovation in terms of articulation. There is no more exciting line coming out at the moment in terms of action figures, at least for me, you know, and the accessories they're giving, everything about it is great. You know, and even when they have missteps, the rest of the figure is executed so well, you can barely hold it against them. This Goldar is great. You know, and if they just drop this whole exclusives angle they're doing, and if they just really tighten up that paintwork, we're going to have something magnificent that all the Power Rangers fans can enjoy. So again, 4.5 out of 5. They just need to improve that paint. Otherwise, absolutely magnificent figure, the Goldar we have always wanted. And beyond that, I have nothing more to say. If you want to see some other reviews, we have plenty. If you want to see the action figures in action, head to Figure Fights or Hero House. They are a great time. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you again, and all the best. Bye.